It is World Stroke Day today. Every year, 1.5 to 1.8 million Indians suffer a stroke, a number that makes it one of the most urgent public health challenges of our time. With an incidence of 130 to 170 strokes per 1 lakh people, stroke has become India's second leading cause of death and third leading cause of disability. I'm handing it over to my colleague Sneha Mordani, who is in conversation with Dr. Nitin Kamath Sethi from Delhi's PSRI hospital. Sneha, over to you.
All right. In fact, joining us right now is Dr. Nitin. Thank you so much for your time. I want to begin by asking you the concern that has been raised by many doctors like you about the very fact that this disease is now being seen in the younger population. Earlier thought of something that was, striking Indians and others, around the age of 50, 55 or more is now being seen in younger people. So what really, doctor, is going on here?
I agree. I think the profile of the typical stroke patient is changing in India. And I think part of that is because the Indian population, our lifestyle is changing. So, for example, the traditional risk factors for stroke are uncontrolled blood pressure, if your blood sugar is not controlled, if you have high cholesterol, if, for example, you're a smoker, you're chewing a lot of tobacco, pan parag, if you're obese, lack of exercise. What is happening now is that while these factors still are the major risk factors for stroke, one thing which has changed is lifestyle. Our diet has changed. It's become very westernized diet. Our stress levels have gone up a lot. In the Indian population now, I feel young people, especially who are in the corporate setup, they are working under tremendous stress, late nights. Alcohol consumption has increased. Smoking has increased. I see a lot of young women smoking, which was not so common earlier on. So as lifestyles are changing, social acceptability of like social drinking, smoking, I think those are a couple of the factors which are really leading to like a stroke epidemic in the Indian population.
That's right. I agree. Is smoking and drinking socially has become just so normal, and that, of course, you're indicating is the reason why so many younger people are suffering. Today Nitin Kamath has put the spotlight on this. He himself had suffered from stroke. The founder of Zerodha last year was suffering. He says he's now realized the importance of the golden hour, the time period in which even if your symptoms die down, doctor, you should still, rush to the hospital. So for a couple of minutes, you may feel the symptoms, doctor, but then it dies down. But still, you shouldn't be brushing it under the carpet. Talk to us about the importance of the golden hour.
That's very true. When we commonly say in neurology, when it comes to a stroke, time is brain. So, like you likely said, nowadays in urban hospitals, urban cities like New Delhi, you have the large hospitals have a stroke unit. So, if you reach a stroke unit in time, a hospital in time, there's a window period. It's called a golden hour. It's usually around 3.5 to 4.5 hours.
Right.
So if you reach within that window period, sometimes you can give these drugs, which are clot busting drugs. And if it's a ischemic stroke, you can lyse the clot, re-establish the blood flow, and you can prevent the disability. It's very important to understand stroke is a very common cause of disability in the world.
Exactly.
You have a stroke and you're left behind with right arm, right leg weakness. You cannot speak. Your balance is off. It's lifelong disability. So it's very important that people realize that when it comes to stroke, time is brain. So I always try to emphasize to everybody, try to recognize the signs and symptoms of a stroke early. Sudden onset of like weakness on one side of the face, your face is drooping. Sudden onset of weakness in one arm, one leg. You have a difficulty speaking. Your loved one suddenly has a difficulty walking, balance is off. It might be a stroke. Always err on the side of caution. Rush to the nearest large hospital, which preferably has a stroke unit.
All right, so I'm going to, in fact, thank you for joining in and sharing your views with us. This, of course, has got to do with the focus on Stroke Day today, a leading cause of death and disability in the country.